What would it be like to be a sustainability-minded eco-startup founder in a country like Indonesia? Intrigued? Well, you should be, because this episode is going to deliver on a number of different levels. And it's coming to you by way of this conversation that I had with Tom Jackson. He's the founder of this company called Honest Ocean. And spoiler alert, what they're all about is removing harmful plastics from the environment so that stuff doesn't make its way into oceans. You're going to hear all about his business, some of the rewards, challenges, and a bunch of other things. But before we get into it, I would encourage you to listen to the full-length audio version after this. There's only so much I can jam into these highlight videos, and you can find that audio format wherever you access your podcast. Just do that search for Life as a ... All right, well, I think it's about time to get started. So why don't we? Well, first up, I think it would make sense to give Tom a chance to explain a little bit more about his business, so it kind of puts this conversation into context. So here's a clip of just that.
Honest Ocean micromanages supply chains. So what we do is the most important thing, and our world is the impact of what happens, and that always comes at the source and the things that need the biggest amount of change, which is the locals, the poorer communities that are usually collecting plastic. So we will work from the source through each link of the supply chain to make sure all of the material, or as much as we can get our hands on, can go back into the recycling market. And not only recyclables, but all types of waste we try to plan for. So it's really preventing plastic getting in the ocean, and in some projects that we run is retrieving it from mangroves or the ocean itself. So it's a layered business model from collection and impact, but also we help brands with the application need for plastics, and we link them with our network and really allow the scale of the recycling market to come through many partnerships.
Yeah, I just love that. I don't know about you, but I find it really difficult not to get behind people or organizations that are doing good within this world. And to add on to this, Tom's business model actually is delivering on a different level, not just environmental impact, but also social impact. So here's a clip of Tom explaining that aspect of his business too.
Being able to collaborate and partnerships with other people, especially locals for us here in Indonesia, is the driving force for everything we do. And if these guys are doing well, it means more plastics getting into the recycling market, which means it's better for them, it's better for us. We operate as their sales channel, so we increase their collection network with helping divert funds to them to grow. Then we take the material from them, link them with the recycler, and then our customers on the other side of that. So it's that stepping stone approach.
Okay, well, next up, one of my favorite things to do is to find out people's pathway. Like, how did they end up where they're at right now? And with Tom, it's a really interesting one. I mean, he's had a lot of different types of experiences. For example, he sailed around the world as part of a yachting crew. He's also had experiences in strategic planning and e-commerce, logistics, manufacturing, and all of this amounted to what he's doing right now. But I'd kind of like to let Tom explain how this all came to be.
And through the yachting, I went across Southeast Asia a lot, or South Pacific specifically, Fiji, Tonga, New Zealand, and some of the remote parts of French Polynesia. And there was plastic waste everywhere. And in those 6 years, I saw it accumulate really quickly, even to the point where we were traveling between Fiji and New Zealand, and we could see, a football field or more of waste being brought there by currents together. And we nearly went through it, which then created problems for the propellers and things like that, as well as the water suction into the boat. So it was really interesting. When was that? That was 2016, from 2011 to 16 there. And yeah, that's when I knew that this was not normal. Not many people knew about it, and I really wanted to get ahead of the curve. And that was in my brain for a while, but actually it really came from I left that and I started with an e-commerce business selling pharmaceutical supplements, vegan supplements on Amazon, which was great. But I quickly found that wasn't my passion.
Mm.
and the team we were with, we were all on different trajectories. So I went to our manufacturer, and a lot of our subscribers and also just general customers that were selling for us on Amazon wanted an eco option. It was the boom of plastic having a really bad name, and we spoke to our manufacturers and said, look, we need an eco option for this. Everyone's asking for it, and they're like, we don't have one. We don't know of one. And I said, if I go and find it, would you guys be interested in purchasing it, a social and environmental positive material? They said yes. And then 3 weeks later, I booked a flight to Indonesia, which I'd never been to before, which was the first year of COVID. So it was
Mm.
a little risky. And then, yeah, landed, did the 12 days in the hotel in Jakarta. And then from there, I went and spoke to every single recycler in Indonesia for 3 months.
Wow.
And I looked at every problem they had, stayed in some pretty rubbish hotels, and just moved around Indonesia. And I'm a big surfing fan. And so, in Indonesia, moving there, I didn't have to give it much thought. Of course, Bali, it's all the rage, but I'd never been. And yeah, that was it. That was really just trying to solve problems for a local market.
Yeah, I really like that last clip there. I think it's a powerful one. Why, you ask? Well, I think it offers a different vantage point in terms of making sense of some of the different career stops or experiences that we have along the way. Anyway, I do want to shift over into a new clip, and this one's all about business and entrepreneurship and being nimble and flexible. You often heard this word of pivoting, right? Shifting your business model based on the conditions, based on what you're learning on the fly. How you came up with this business model, I think a lot of times people might assume, like, when you're starting a business or you have an idea of, okay, I want to solve this problem. Well, I need to have this model. I need to have it all figured out right from the get-go. And more times than not, it's people find out what their model is going to be by doing what you just explained. You're speaking to people, you're getting out, you're finding the pain points, you're finding out the true intricacies and details of some of these problems, and that allows you to kind of formulate and strategically build on the along the way. I'm sure you're pivoting along the way in terms of all of this as well. Would that be an accurate assumption?
100%. And
Yeah.
what I've learned through this and projects beforehand is planning gets in the way of progress. And as humans, what we can do is we can sit there and come up with ideas and start trying to restructure a business model. But actually, what we're doing is we're creating doubt in our own demise, really. So what you've got to do is just go have a three-step plan, which are simple, which are achievable, and even on those three steps, stuff will probably change. And
Yeah.
if you speak to anyone who started a business and you started at A and you got to Z, was it a straight line? The answer is 9 times out of 10, no. So you've got to allow for deviation.
For those who are watching this video and considering, yeah, maybe I would like to get into business, it never hurts to get a dose of reality in terms of some of the fundamentals, what you really have to key in on. And one of those aspects is surely all about building strong relationships, both inside your company and externally. So first up, I have this clip of Tom speaking about some of the wins he's experienced thus far while working within his company, building these strong relationships outside with great partners. So check it out.
Trusted partners is a big one for us. We've got a local recycler here who is a big dog in the world of recycling, big factory, 900 staff, and they've really looked after us in terms of taking on our small volumes as we've grown and really being open to that. These guys do a lot of business, and we really wanted to work with them. They look after their team really well, and we wanted to be a part of that. Like I said, when I went around Indonesia and looked at 45 different recyclers, those were the ones that stuck out. They were doing things right, and we wanted to go on that journey. So getting them in as a partner was really big.
Okay, well, on the flip side, here's a clip of Tom speaking about the importance of building strong relationships internally with a team. So check it out.
Obviously, working in sustainability, specifically ocean recovery of waste or ocean prevention, you get people that really want to make change. And it took us 18 months. We went in the wrong direction for 18 months. So being able to bring in the marketing guys, the operations guys, the scalability business development guys, that has been key to us. And we're in the age of AI and things like that, which isn't a thing in recycling yet. So we've been able to pivot with people in the mid to late 30s who are already aware of that. I'm 35 myself, so these guys are sort of generationally behind, but technology ahead of me. So being able to lean on that's been massive. These guys are passionate. They work way harder than they should for not enough money. And yeah, it's really being able to have people around you that can lift up the business is everything, and that's where we are. We wouldn't be there without them.
Well, in the spirit of keeping these videos relatively short, maybe it's about time to be drawing this one to a close. However, I do encourage you to check out that full-length audio version. There's a bunch more we get into. For example, Tom shares this really great story related to his experiences within Honest Ocean. We also touch on things like technology, how that's shifting and changing the sustainability landscape, as well as where it's all going. Is Tom optimistic? Is he pessimistic about things? You're going to hear about all of that and more. And again, you can find this wherever you access your podcast. Just do that search for Life as a ... All right, well, I will have another video coming for you right next week, so stay tuned and don't miss it. Until then, we'll see ya.